Okay, good afternoon, class. Today will be our first mod maths class. So the topic today will be variation and also matrices. Okay, feel free to ask anything during the lesson if you are not clear, and also if I ask question, please let me know lah whether you understand or not. So here's a Google form link for your attendance and also suggestion or feedback. Okay, feel free to fill it like after the lesson also. Okay, so yeah, without further ado, let's start. So if I'm writing on the whiteboard, please pin my screen. If not, then I'll be sharing the e-textbook presentation. Then you just look at the presentation lah. Okay, so first of all, we'll be looking at variation. So can someone or all of you just tell me what comes to mind when variation is mentioned? What do you understand of variation? What is variation? Is it an equation? Okay, difference between two variables perhaps. Okay, what else? Anyone else want to contribute? Variables count? Yeah, its variation is more to variables. Anyone else? Abrina, Shenjing, Samantha. Okay, so basically variation means it's like a relationship or the variation between at least two variables. You must have at least two variables, okay? So in our syllabus, we're going to learn about three types of variation. Now let's look at the textbook. Let me share my entire screen lah. Okay. Okay, so when you look at the textbook, the first one will be direct variation, which means that the relationship between two variables, when y increases, the x also increases at the same rate and vice versa. So y varies directly as x. Now you look back at my screen, okay, you pin my own camera. So the first variation we're going to learn is direct variation, okay? For direct variation, one variable will vary directly with the other, all right? So for example, y. How do you write the variation? Y alpha x. It's always alpha, okay? Not equal, not beta or whatever symbol, it's always alpha. So y is varies directly with x, y alpha x. So when y increases, x increases. Y decreases, x increases. Simple, right? Okay, so this is direct variation. That means when y varies, the x also varies to a certain degree. Now, in a variation form, we can change it into an equation form. But remember, especially if you learn physics, if you want to change something to an equation form, you must introduce a constant. You must insert a constant inside the equation. Then only you can write out the equation. If not, if you don't have the constant, you must have this alpha symbol, which is variation. Can you understand? Okay, I hope you understand, yeah? Okay, so you look at the textbook. Now, state the change on the total wage if the number of working hours is double. That means the wage is also double lah, because it varies directly. So if decreases, this one also decreases. Number of working hours if the total wage is half. Number of working hours is also half. Okay? Now, relationship between two variables for direct variation. This is where all the examples come in. So you see, this is a constant. Now, the constant is like this: y equals to k over kx. So the constant is always y over x. Okay, the constant is k equals to y over x. So that means when you draw a graph, y against x, it will always be a straight line because it's a direct variation. It's always a straight line. So k will be your gradient. You understand? K will be your gradient. Direct variation, always a straight line. Okay? This is how you find your constant. Alright? Okay, Okay. So, yeah, this one I've already touched just now. So for a direct variation, normally we write against like this, but sometimes the x can also be can also be an index. So we can write it as also y equals to k x to the power of n y alpha x to the power of n. But this one is not too important, so no worries. Okay, the most important thing you have to understand, this is a direct variation. Okay, so now let's look at some examples. Okay, a toy car moves from a state of rest. The distance traveled by the toy car y changes with time t. So that means this is already comparing two variables y and t. Okay, y and t. Y, and then it says what? Determine whether y varies directly as t or t squared. Okay, so whether it's directly as t or directly as t squared. Okay, now how you want to determine is, like I said, this is a constant. What does a constant mean? Constant means it's always the same. So now you compare the data, you look at the textbook, you compare the data. Y against t is 777, all the way is also 7. But for the t square, it's 3.5, 1.75, 1.17, 0.88, all different. So y varies directly as t, correct? But y doesn't varies directly as t squared. Okay? Because the constant is only for t. When the k here is 7. Okay, so y is directly proportional, you can say varies directly to t. Y equals to kt, y equals to 7t. Do you understand? Can you understand this? This is just finding a constant and determining whether it's a direct variation or not. Okay, do you all understand? Do reply. If not, if you all don't understand that, I'm afraid you don't understand. Okay, Isabel, Shenjing, Samantha, Abrina. Okay, great. Sure, okay. Now, okay, this is just plotting the graph, nothing. Okay. Now, most of the time, SPM will come up this type of question, okay? Okay, give me a while because this duster is also very old already, so when rubbing, it takes some time. Okay. Now, you see, they give you m is 0.8 and 0.125. Express m in terms of n if m varies directly as n. Now, so if they say m varies directly as n, immediately to your head, this one must come out. So m varies directly as n. Okay? And then how to convert to an equation? Introduce the constant m equals to kn. Okay? So what is the m? 0.8 and the n is 0.125. Okay? So k 0.125. And then you must find the constant. You must find what is k. So the textbook say k is 6.4. Then you put back into here, you express it m equals to 6.4n. Okay? So you find the constant. You understand? Now let's see. Okay. They give you the value 0.8, 0.125, but now they want to ask you what is the value of m. Okay, what is the value of m when n equals to 0.5, for example. So you substitute into the equation. Okay, so you get m equals to, where's my calculator? I'll show you. So m equals to 6.4 times 0.5, okay, 3.2. Understand? We'll look at more questions later if you're confused, but this is how you do. The most important thing, you have to write down the variation form, write down the equation form, find the constant, and then you get your final answer. All right? Is that okay? Okay, Variation is one of the easiest chapters, so you have to score in variation, okay, as well as matrix. Today's two topics are actually very easy, so you have to score in those topics lah. Okay, okay, example 6 is the one I'm talking about lah. Okay, so okay, let's look at example 6. This is the one that SPM will ask. You have to find the constant, then only you find the next value. Okay, it's given that y varies directly as x. So in your head, you must write this down, and then what you do after this, always equal to the constant x. Y equals to kx. Okay, now they give you the value 0.14 and x is 0.2. You don't look at the questions first. You don't look at y when x equals to 5. Later you confuse. First of all, you have to find the constant first. Find the constant. Okay? How do I find the constant? I substitute the value. Y is 0.14. 0.14, k, x is 0.2. Okay? So k you get, what is it? 0.7. Okay? K you get 0.7. Once you get 0.7 for your k, you substitute back inside y equals to 0.7x. Understand? Now you can only solve your question. A, the value of y when x is equals to 5. So y is 0.7, you substitute 5 inside, y is 3.5. Do you understand? Okay, can you understand? Y varies directly as x. You write this variation form, write equation form, find constant, and then only substitute the value to get your y. Can or not? Yes, no one has any problem. Okay. Then you can also do the value of x when y is 0.875. So 0.875 equals to 0.7x. Okay. So x you get is 1.25. Okay. So this is direct variation, very easy. Once you already understand direct variation, you can do the others already lah. So these are the examples lah. I won't go through because it's also the same thing lah. Okay. Now, under direct variation, just now we are only doing two variables. Very easy, you need two variables. Now, what if I have more variables? If I introduce more x, z, everything else, you have more than two, then we'll call it a joint variation. Okay? It's still under direct variation, but it can be a joint variation. Okay? So direct variation, you can have a simple one, y alpha x, or maybe you can say like y alpha x z, for example. Okay, so you look at this, you look at this example. A joint variation is a direct variation in which one variable varies as a product of two or more variables. That means you need two or more variables. Okay, so y is alpha exact. Okay, y varies directly as xm and zn. Okay, this one is not too important. So how do you write it? For example, p varies directly as q and square root r. So p alpha varies directly as what? Q and square root r. You just write only. You write only alpha. Okay, finish already. Okay, and then if you want to write into the equation form, what do? You write equal and then introduce the constant k, q, r. Okay. Sometimes a direct variation, it won't be one variable, it can be two. For example, you look at D. The mass W of a cylinder varies directly as its length P and square of the diameter of its base. D squared. And then W equals to, introduce a constant KPD squared. Okay, can? Can, right? I hope can, Okay. Okay. Now this one. Wait, no. Which one? Hold on. Okay. We can do this example 12 also. One interesting one. Okay. Now you look at example 12. Okay, we look at example 12. S and P, ST and U, so we have three variables are shown in the table on the right. Is given that S varies directly, always write down the variation form first so that you understand what does it want. S varies directly as t and the cube root of u. Okay? Calculate the values of x and y. So now, they give you this one. After you write variation form, what should you write next? What should you write next after variation form? Equation. Good. So how do you write an equation? S equals to, how do you write it? K. You have to introduce the constant K. Okay. Now, after that, what you do? Find the K. What is the K? So you substitute the value first. You see the first one. 6 equals to K. What is T? 0.8 and then cube root 27. Then you find your K is 2.5, sorry. 2.5. Once you get your K already, substitute back inside. Okay. S equals to 2.5 T cube root U. Easy or not? Easy, right? But this is not your final answer. Once you get this ready, then only you go and find what is your value of x and y lah. So you just substitute inside lah. X equals to 2.5, what's the t? 1.2, and then cube root, what is that? 125. Then you get what is your x. Same thing for y. Okay, 50 equals to 2.5 for t, and then what is it? Square root y. Cube root y, sorry. Cube root y. Then you get your y lah. What is your y? Understand? This is how you do it. It's always the same method. Variation form, equation form, find the constant, substitute back the constant. Then only based on this equation, you can find the other values. Okay? Easy or not? Do you understand? Yeah, good. If you understand this, that means your direct variation okay already. So, that's all for direct variation. The next one will be inverse variation. Inverse variation is the same thing, the same method only, except instead of it varies directly, it will varies inversely. Okay, now let's look at what is inverse variation. Okay. Now, inverse variation, just now direct variation, y alpha x. Now inverse variation, y alpha 1 over x. 1 over, the x will be the bottom because it is an inverse variation. Y increase, x decrease. Y decrease, x increase. Understand? Opposite, inverse here, inverse variation. Okay? So this is the variation form. When I want to convert into a equation form, I introduce a constant. Okay? Y equals to k, introduce a constant. So you can write y equals to k over x. Understand? How to find a constant? Just now is y over x. Now you see the k is over here. So k equals to y times x. Understand? This is just inverse variation. So the most important thing, you write the variation form, then you can write the equation form and then find the constant. Okay? Very easy, right? Okay, so look at the textbook again. Okay, so state the change in average speed if the time taken increases by 2 times. So if the time increases 2 times, the speed will decrease 2 times. And then if the speed decreases 1.5, the time will increase. Sorry, the time is decreased 1.5, the speed will increase 1.5. So all this is not the important one. Okay. Sorry, I forget to mention. For graph, just now direct variation is straight line, right? For inverse variation, y against x, your graph will be hyperbola like this. Okay? Like this, to the right, hyperbola. Or if you put y against 1 over x, then it will be a straight line. Remember, 1 over x, because you see, varies directly as 1 over x. So straight line. Alright? Okay. And then how you get the gradient? You use this formula, k equals to y over yx. Okay? So all this is already touched already. Now let's look at SPM style questions. Okay, so example. Okay, let's look at example 19 first. So f varies inversely as the square of the distance between two objects. So you write down first the variation form. F varies inversely. Inversely, that means 1 over square of the distance, square the d, okay? D squared. Okay, it's given that the force is, okay, before we do that, we have to write in equation form first. So F equals to, write the constant K over D squared. Then only you tengok. Okay, 15 Newton, distance is 1.2. 1.2 squared. Okay, then you get your K is, what is it? 21.6. Then only your final answer will be F equals to 21.6 over D squared. Understand? This is how you find that. It's the same thing, only you write the variation, write equation, find the constant, substitute back in. Okay? And then once you get this, you can find your values ready lah. Let's say I say when the value of D is maybe 2, then what is the value of F? You can find already lah, the answer. Okay? So that's the same thing lah for inverse variation, except that it is opposite compared to direct variation. Do you understand inverse variation? Can? Others can, right? Okay. Okay, Okay. Now, the final type of variation is combined variation. Ooh, what is combined variation? Who can tell me what is combined variation? Dua-dua pun ada, yes, correct. So combined variation means you have you have direct variation and you have inverse variation. So y alpha varies directly as x, varies inversely as z. Understand? That means you have the direct and inverse. But it's okay, it's not too hard also. You just write down the variation form based on the question, then you already understand what it wants. Okay? So now you look, okay. Combined variation, okay, then if you want to write into equation form, so it will be y equals to kx over z. Okay? So, it is given that y varies directly as the square of x. Directly maksudnya atas ya, sama. Square of x and inversely as the square root of z. Okay? So when y, okay, then you find right in the equation form first, kx squared over z. When y is 8, x is 4, and z is 36. Then you want to find the constant. What is the k? The k you get 3. So how you express y equals to 3x squared over square root z. Can you understand? Write the variation form, then you can write the equation form, find the constant, substitute back. Okay? Easy, right? Should be very easy. Variation is very, very easy. Then it's just solving problem, and then that's the end of the chapter. Do you all understand? Or do you have any problem involving variation? Not much, right? Yeah. Maybe you all joined today because matrix more problem, is it? Yes, just learn how to find k. Find the relationship between two or more variables, equation form, find the k, then you already form your variation equation. then you can find any value. They will give you the one variable punya value, you find the other variable. That's all. They cannot go beyond and ask you other stuff. One. This is variation. It's just relationship. And then use K to find X or Y. Yes, depend on the question. Lah. Or if you've got three variables, they give you X and Y, they ask you find Z. Also can. Lah. But remember, it's always you have to find K first, then only you find the others. Okay? Find the K first. Actually, I want to ask you all, you all join is for both chapters or chapter 1 or chapter 2? All of you. Eunice, Isabel, Shenjing, Samantha, Abrina. Any chapter, okay? Matrix, okay. Chapter 2, Matrix, interesting, okay. Shenjing and Samantha, repetitive revising. Matrix, oh, semua orang Matrix, no wonder lah, so quiet. Okay, then without further ado, let's go to Matrix. I hope you understand this chapter lah, especially those watching the video recording. Okay, so Matrix will be a thicker chapter and we'll spend more time in Matrix lah. Not for the faint-hearted, but it's really something revolutionizing lah. Maybe Eunice you can watch. Okay, so basically what Matrix is, not the movie, now we refer to maths. Matrix is when you have an array of things. Okay, what is an array? Basically, matrices is plural form, okay? Matrix is singular. So matrices means you have an array. You have a big bracket, you can be like this, big bracket, or you can be like this, big bracket. Array means you have arranged them in columns and row. For example, A, B, C, D. Or A, B, C, D, anything. It doesn't have to be 2 times 2. It can be any array. Okay? As long as you arrange these numbers in this form, big bracket is called a matrix. Okay? So now let's look at the textbook. Okay. Matrix. All right. So you do your Microsoft Excel, everything, you have your table, you have your cells, everything, right? Those are also like matrix. So this one, the horizontal, we will call row. The vertical, we will call column. All right. Now, matrix is a set of number arranged in rows and columns to form a rectangular or square array. So this is an array. Okay. So, okay, now they want you to express only. So basically, okay, you look at A, recommended daily calorie intake of a child, teenager, adult, senior citizen. Just arrange normally. Okay, 1700, 2100, 2000, and also 1800. Okay, like that. Or if you don't like the row form, you can write in column form 100. 00, and then 1800. Okay. In this column form also possible. So this is just expressing the matrix, okay? Okay. Now, determine order of matrix. What does it mean order of matrix? Order of matrix means what is like the rows and columns. So the order of the matrix, it is always the row times the column. If you have 2 rows and 3 columns, 2 times 3, that will be your order, okay? You look at at the example here, there will be 2 rows and 3 columns. So the order is 2 times 3. Do you understand? 2 times 3. Okay, good, right? Easy, right? Okay. Now, okay, let's say, okay, 1, 2, 3, maybe 2, 4, 6, 8, and maybe 7, 8. Okay, so who can tell me what is the order of this matrix? Okay, 3 times 1 because 3 rows and 1 column. Don't mess up. Row always comes first. In matrix, no matter what you do, it's always the row come first. Later you see the addition subtraction is also row come first, then only column. So 3 times 1. Okay, this one. 3 times 2. Yes, well done. Okay, another person. How about the third matrix? Another person beside Eunice and Isabel. 1 times 4. Thank you, Shenjing. 1 times 4. Good. You all understand? Now, based on the matrix, we can find what is the element inside. Okay, let's say I want to find, okay, I just use a random variable A. Okay, maybe I want to find what is the tree here. The tree here, what I will do is, I will write the row and also the column. So A31 equals to 3. This one, okay? If let's say I want the 1, which row is that? The first row. A1, which column? The first column is 1. Understand? That's simple. We try again. Okay, A. Let's say A. I want the third row and second column. A32. What is the element? Ten. Okay, 10. A21. What's the element? 6. Good. A21 is 6. How about A42? None. Yes. Doesn't exist. Okay. Because there's only 3 rows and 2 columns. Okay. Last one. A41. None. Okay. None. How about A14? 1. Okay. Can you understand, all of you? Can you understand? Yes, okay, very easy, right? I think your all struggle is when it comes to like operation, is it? Plus, minus, times, divide. That one only you struggle, is it? Hi, Renjin, welcome. Yeah, okay. Now let's continue. So, okay, we have done this already. Okay, order of the matrix done already lah. Okay. Okay, two matrices are equal. I think this one also I don't have to run on the whiteboard lah. You all understand lah. Basically, what does matrices equal? That means all the elements are same lah. So you look at example 4, A equals to B, because you see 2 is equals to 2, 11, 11, 1, 1, 3, 3. So it's the same thing lah. Now you look. If the element is the same, but the order is different, so it's not equal here. You look at example B, the question B, 3, 9 and also 3, 9. But because it's not the same form, so it's not equal, yeah. Should be easy lah. This one, I'm sure everyone can do this. Okay? Okay. This one, example 5 also should be easy. It's just the same thing. Okay, now we go to the operation one. Ni yang semua orang takut. Okay. You see, operation for matrix. Operation in matrix, you only have plus, minus, times here. Divide, we will use 1 over something to times it. Okay. We normally don't have divide, we will use the times. So, for plus, minus, your order must be same. Order must be same. For times, the order depends. Later I'll explain what does it mean depends, okay? Plus, minus, order must be same. If I have A, B, C, D, I must plus with H, I, J, K. Baru betul. I cannot A, B, C, D, I plus with H, I. Salah. Order tak sama, I cannot do plus, I cannot do minus. Do you understand? Okay? You mesti order sama, baru you boleh buat. Okay, So, okay, let's focus on this one. So, plus, minus, very simple only. A, the same position is H. So, A plus H, B plus I, C plus J, D plus K. Understand? Easy only. Plus, minus is the same thing. If it's minus, just change this plus sign to minus. Understand? Plus minus is very easy in matrices. You see the order sama, okay, boleh. Then A with the same position, B dengan same position saja. Okay? You tengok order tak sama, you cancel out, tak boleh buat. Okay? Okay ya? Faham ya? Alright. Okay, good. Now we look at some examples. Okay, so example 6, whether addition and subtraction can or not. A and B, you look order tak sama, so cannot. B, example B, boleh. Example C, also can. Example G, cannot because order not same lah. So, okay, let's look at, okay, P minus Q, for example. You look at the example 7, P minus Q. Order same, right? So can minus lah. Then you just minus. Remember when you minus, if you have to minus a negative number or plus a negative number, always use the bracket, okay? Very important because if you don't use the bracket, it will affect the answer. Do you understand? Okay, huh? Should be easy, right? Plus minus. I think you all struggle at multiplication, is it? Or maybe inverse matrix, that's why. Okay. Plus minus should be easy lah, okay? Okay. Okay, this one nothing lah. Okay. Okay. Okay, now let's go to multiply. Multiply. Okay, multiplication, there is how to say, like two different subtopic. The first one is you multiply a constant. Maybe a constant n. Okay, A, B, C, D. A constant n. Ini senang. Another type is two different matrix multiply each other. Hij. There are two types of multiplication in matrices. I think this one everyone knows how to do, right? Constant punya lebih senang lah. Okay. So now is the constant one. Basically, it's just very easy lah. This one n times A, n times B, n times C, n times D lah. So you look at the example 11, 3D. You already given the matrix like that, you times 3 only lah. 3 times negative 5, 3 times 4, 3 times 2, 3 times 1 lah. So you get that as the final answer. And then negative half also the same thing, you just times everything together lah, you get it. You understand? Multiply by constant, easy, right? Okay? Yeah. Okay. Now, before I move on, you just want to highlight this one. What is zero matrix? Basically, zero matrix means that everything is zero lah. 0, 0, 0, 0. Everything is zero lah. Inside everything is zero. Okay? This is a zero matrix. Okay? Okay, now, okay, this is the easy one. This one also nothing too much lah. Am I going too fast? If I'm going too fast, let me know, yeah, if you have any problem. Okay. Okay. How to multiply two matrices? Okay, now the fun part. Okay. When you want to multiply two matrices, you depend on the order. What does it mean depend on the order? Okay, let's say A, B times HI. Okay. What is the order of this first matrix? Two times one. Okay. 2 times 1. 2 times 1. Order of second matrix. 1 times 2. Good. Okay. 2 rows, 1 column. 1 row, 2 column. To multiply, your order depends on ini. Ini satu satu mesti sama. Mesti sama. If it's not the same, you cannot multiply. Understand? For example, A, B, C, D, and then times 2 times 2. So, okay, HI lah. What is the order of this matrix? 2 times 2. What is the order of this matrix? 1 times 2. Look at this, the middle one. the column for the first matrix and the row for the second matrix. Is it the same? 2 and 1, is it same? No, cannot perform multiplication. This one can, this one cannot. Do you understand? Okay, let's try again. HI times AB. Okay, what's the order? 1, 2, 1. 2 times 1, not 2, 1, 2 times 1. Ini? Same is it? 2 times 1. Can multiply or not? No, cannot multiply. So you have to look at here. If it's the same, then only you can. For example, like this. If it's different, cannot. You cancel out. Tak boleh multiply, tak boleh multiply. Understand? Okay, Now, okay, another fun thing. If let's say you tengok, okay, okay, boleh multiply. Then your product, what is the answer? Yeah, the answer will be this times this. Your order of your answer will be 2 times 2. So that means the answer you get will be the one that needs to be used. Okay. X, Y, J, K. Understand or not? First, check the order of both matrices. Write down. Tengok, boleh multiply ke? Same, boleh multiply. So, your answer, the order will be 2 times 2. Here, the 2, and the other 2 is here. Can you understand? Okay, we try again another example. Let me think. I have to think what example. Okay. Okay. X, Y, J, K dengan okay. Dengan AB lah, okay, for example. Okay. Okay. Can multiply or not? You look at the order first. What is the order for this? 2 times 2. This one? 2 times 1. Boleh multiply ke? Boleh. Your answer, what is your answer punya order? 2 times 1. Good. 2 times 1. So, your matrix answer will have 2 rows and 1 column lah. So, okay, CD lah. 2 rows, 1 column. Understand? You mesti dapat ini. If your answer you don't get like this form, something is wrong already lah. You calculate wrongly lah. Okay? Can or not? Now you already know the concept. Let's look at examples of how to calculate. Okay. Okay. Now let's look at the textbook, some examples. Okay. All right. Okay. Now look at example 16. Matrix A 2, 1, 3, 5. 2, 3, 1, 5 lah. Okay. 2, 3, 1, 5. Matrix B 6, negative 7, 6, negative 7, negative 2, 1. Okay, can multiply, right? Because this one is 2 times 2, 2 times 2. So, boleh. Then, what is your answer punya order? What is the order punya answer? Okay, good. 2 times 2, yeah? Don't write 22, yeah? All of you, I scared you all later exam write wrongly. Must write times, 2 times 2 is your answer punya order lah. So, you write beside. You check first, right beside. Nanti I buat sampai answer betul ke tidak. You check first, okay? Okay. How do we do matrix multiplication? You tengok. Okay. Matrix multiplication, you guna konsep row ko. row, co. Row times column, row times column. Never ever the opposite. Always row, co. Row, co. Okay? So, row, this is the first row times first column. Okay? Okay? Row, co. And then this will be your answer. Okay? Row times the other co. This is your second answer. Alright? And then second row times first column. This is your answer. Row co, second row, second column. This is your answer. Okay? Do you get the basic concept or not? Okay, good. Row co, row co. Always in your head. Row co, row column, row column, row column, row column. Okay? Row co, row co. Now let's see how do we solve this. Okay? So 2 times, okay, first row times first column. 2 times 6 plus, always plus. Plus ini 3 times negative 2. Siap. First element finish. Now, second element. First row, second co. Row co. 2 times negative 7. 3 times 1. Siap. Second element finish. Understand? Then you look at this one. Second row, first column, row co, 1 times 6 plus 5 times negative 2. Siap. Third element siap. Fourth element, last element, second row, second column, 1, negative 7, 5, 1. Understand? So eventually your answer will be 6, negative 4, negative 11, 2. Okay, then you check, negative 2, sorry. Then you check, is it correct or not dengan 2 times 2 ini? This is 2 times 2, right? So that means your answer correct already. Can you understand this? Yes, So row co. Always row, then column, row, column, row, column, row, column. Okay, good. Okay, let's look at another example. Okay, let's do this now. 4, 3, and negative 2, 7. Okay, what is the order for this 4, 3? What is the order? Okay, 1 times 2. Ini 1 times 2. Ini 2 times 1. Okay, look, the middle, same, right? Can multiply? Can. Okay, so your answer punya order is 1 times 1. Okay, 1 times 1. Okay, right beside to make sure. And then only you make sure row times co. So row times column, row times column. 4, negative 2 plus 3 times 7. Habis. So you get your answer will be 13. Correct or not? 1 times 1, correct lah? Understand? Easy or not? Siapa masih blur or confused? Don't know how to do multiplication. Always remember row co. Row times column, row times column. In the middle, always plus. Okay, Okay. What's the next one? Okay. Okay, let's do this one. This is more complicated. 2, 5, negative 2. 16, negative 6. and 0, 1. Okay. What's the order for this? 3 times 2. What's the order for this? 2 times 2. So can multiply. Your answer will be 3 times 2 order. Okay. Now, how you do? Row go again. First row times first column. 3 times 16 plus 2 times 0. Okay, siap first element. Then first row, second column. 3 times 16. Oops. 3 times 2. 3 times 16 plus 2 times negative 6. Okay, siap. Second element. Third element. Second row times first column. Negative 1, 16 plus 5 times 0. Then negative 1, negative 6, 5, 1. Okay, 4, 16, negative 2, 0. 4, negative 6, plus 1, negative 2. Okay, so this is your final answer will be okay, 48, negative 16, negative 16, 11, 64, negative 26. Then you check correct or not. Is it 3 row and 2 column? Correct. Correct, huh? You understand how to do? Row, go, row, go, row, go, row, go. Okay, yeah? Can do, right? Okay, who is blur? Who doesn't understand? If you all understand, then we can move to the next part, which is identity matrix. Do you all understand? Good, huh? No one blur, huh? Okay. Then we move on to identity matrix. Okay. So, what is identity matrix? Identity matrix is actually very easy only. Basically, let's say I have a 2 times 2 array. It has to be a square matrix here, identity matrix. So 2 times 2. Basically, 1 diagonally. Move from the left to the right bottom diagonally. 3 times 3 matrix. 1, 1, 1. Okay? 4 times 4. 1, 1, 1, 1. 5 times 5. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, like that. And then finally, add the 0 at the space where it's not used. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then 0, 0, 0. Okay? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So this is identity matrix. Very easy only. The one from the top left to the bottom right. Go down diagonally, 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 like this, diagonally. The other all 0. This is not diagonally, diagonally. Okay? So this is identity matrix. That's all. This is the identity matrix. Okay? Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot to say is identity matrix will produce the same matrix. Okay? Let's say I have a matrix A. Identity matrix, the symbol is I here. The symbol is I. So with the A times the I times the identity matrix, it will still be A. Understand? It will still be the same thing. Okay, for example, 16, 5, 3, 2, you times an identity matrix 1, 0, 0, 1. You are still going to get 16, 5, 3, 2. Okay, you're going to get the same thing. Okay, it's like a mirror like that. Identity matrix is like a mirror. Okay, so this is identity matrix. Huh? Okay, now we come to the fun part, the inverse matrix. Okay, inverse matrix is Let's say this is a normal matrix A. The inverse will be A to the power of -1. Okay. When a normal matrix times an inverse matrix, it will produce the mirror, the identity matrix. So let's say we use the same thing, 16532. If it times the inverse matrix, you will produce the identity matrix 1001. Can you understand? This is inverse matrix. We don't this is just the introduction first. No need to know how to calculate first, how to get inverse matrix, but do you understand what is an inverse matrix or not? Yes, huh? That means it's like a opposite. If this normal matrix times the opposite inverse matrix, you will get the mirror. You'll get the identity matrix. Okay? Okay, now let's see. How do you get this inverse matrix from a normal matrix? Okay. It's just opposite. Yes, it's just the opposite. Okay. Okay, first of all, this one also SMK J12, the trial exam got keluar, right? They will ask which one doesn't have an inverse matrix. Okay. So first of all, before I move to that, you just see what is the okay, they example 22, they give you the matrix and also inverse matrix. Okay. So 4172 and then 4 -7 4 1 -7 2. Okay, so to determine whether this is an inverse matrix or not, you you have to get the identity matrix 1100 baru ini considered inverse matrix. Tapi you look at A, the answer is 9 6 14 11. It's not an identity matrix, so ini bukan inverse matrix. Okay, tapi you look at the B, 4172 times 2 -1 -74, the answer is in identity matrix. So yes, itu ialah inverse matrix. Do you understand? Always remember, A times the A inverse, you get the identity matrix. Okay? Can you hear? Okay. Now, you look at this. How do you determine the matrix? In our syllabus, we only learn determining the inverse matrix for 2 times 2 matrix. Okay? So, let's say I have a normal matrix A, B, C, D. It's always like A, B, C, D like this, the formula. How do we determine an inverse matrix? A -1 equals to 1 over determinant. What is determinant? Always follow formula. Other minus baca. AD minus BC. Or if you want to memorize, other minus baca lah. Okay. Other minus baca. Okay. AD minus BC. And then you copy back the matrix. You do a few changes. What you do? D and A switch position. D, A switch position. Negative in front of B, negative in front of C. Okay, I repeat. From a normal matrix, to get the inverse matrix, 1 over other minus baca, D and A switch position, negative B, negative C. Okay, always follow the formula. So if don't worry, do a few exercises, then you'll get used to it. Okay. Now, this one is called determinant. This is called a determinant. Okay. Now, that day trials, they ask which inverse matrix or which matrix does not have an inverse matrix. Okay. So, to determine whether it has an inverse matrix or not, you have to calculate determinant first. Look at this example. Example 23. Okay. Okay, you look at A. A, whether it has inverse matrix or not. Okay. You use the determinant AD minus BC. What you get the answer? 0. If your determinant is 0, then dia tak ada inverse matrix. Understand? So ada baca, if you get 0, dia tak ada inverse matrix, and that is how you get your answer lah. But you look at the example B. Ada minus baca is 2, it's not 0. Maksudnya dia ada inverse matrix lah. Can you understand? Can you understand? Determinant equals 0, okay ya? So if determinant is AD minus BC equals 0, that means inverse matrix does not exist. Okay. Okay. So now we look at the example. So B equal berapa? 3524. Okay. Find the inverse matrix of B. So how again? Ikut formula 1 over AD minus BC. 3 times 4 minus 2, 5. Okay? And then inside your array, how? 3, 4, AD switch position, 4, 3. Negative B, negative C. Then you calculate lah. 12 minus should be 2 lah, okay? So this one 4, negative 5, negative 2, 3. And then this one will be like 1 over 2 times 4 is 2. 1 over 2, so this is negative 5 over 2, negative 1, 3 over 2 lah, okay? Correct or not? I think it's correct, right? Okay. Can you understand how to get inverse matrix? Based on this normal matrix, determinant in front first, 1 over AD minus BC. AD switch position, negative B, negative C. Okay? Do more practice, then you already understand. It's very not, you just follow the formula, then you can get ready. Okay, let's do another example before we move to the, I think the last subtopic. Okay. Okay, let me just give a random normal one. Okay, Z equals to, okay, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what is inverse matrix of Z? 1 over what? What is the determinant? You all type out what is 1 over determinant. You all can write lah, the bracket is what? What times what? You understand what I want? 10 yeah, it's 10 Are you sure it's 10? You write what times what first? AD minus BC. So which one times which one? Negative 2. But how do you get what times what first? One times 4 minus 3 times 2. 1 times 4 minus 3 times 2. Good lah. AD minus BC lah. Okay. So you get 1 over 4 minus 6 negative 2 lah. Okay. How about the second part in the array? What is here? What is the first element? 4. Second element, B, right? So what you should do? Negative 2. Third element, C. Negative 3. Fourth element, 1. Okay, copy back. Okay, so times 1 over negative 2. So here you get negative 2 lah. Yeah. And then this one 1, this one 3 over 2, this one negative 2. Okay, so this is the inverse matrix of this. Understand? And then if this times this, you get identity matrix. Nah? Okay? Easy, right? Inverse matrix. So that's all for inverse matrix. Should be easy lah. You all do more practice, then you all know how to do already. Okay. Okay, now I think it's the final subtopic. Okay, now ini ya SPM confirm will ask one. Even the trials it came out one answer. The strawberry or this strawberry, yeah, the star fruit and what juice? Mango juice, I think. Yeah, last one is one. Oops. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. 1/, yeah, -1/2. Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay. Okay, now this one very important. The most important part of matrix is this one. They will test you the most important is this one. Simultaneous linear equation using matrix method to solve. This one SPM confirm one question will come out like this. Okay. Now, okay, how do we First of all, you have to write down it's just like from one how you did it. You write down your simultaneous linear equation first, okay? Write down a simultaneous linear equation. So for example, okay, 3x plus 4y equals to what? 12, right? 5x minus 7y minus 6y equals to 7. Okay. Okay, you see, so how you put into matrix form? The constant put into one matrix, xy into second matrix. Constant 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, -6. First matrix, siap. Second matrix, always xy. How to make sure your x must always be the first, your y always must be second, okay? Because like remember just now, row code multiplication. 3 times x, 4 times y. 5 times x, -6 times y. Correct, right? Yes, correct. So betul. Make sure your x is always the first one. Your y is the second one. Baru you boleh buat macam ni. Can you all understand? Yes, Okay. So equal sini answer right in matrix form again. Betul. Complete matrix form like this. Haven't solved, You write like this first, complete. I think then can get 1 mark already. Okay, make sure x first, then only y. Then you check 3x, 4y, 5x, -6y. Your answer over here. Okay, now how do we do step by step to solve this using matrix method? Okay, we assume this is a normal matrix A. This is x lah, okay? Ax equals to another normal matrix B. Okay, now we want to find what is x. To find what is x, we have to use the B divide the A, right? Okay, you know, like algebra, normal algebra, to find x, B have to divide A, right? You understand, right? Okay, so in matrix, of course, you cannot divide because it's going to be so complicated. What we do, introduce an inverse matrix over here. A inverse matrix X. Introduce inverse matrix. Is it correct? Let me see. Okay. And then what you get? A times A inverse. When a normal matrix times inverse matrix, you'll get identity matrix, right? And then X. Here remain the same. Okay. Can you understand until here? Introduce the inverse matrix, then here. Identity matrix. And then X, a normal matrix X times identity matrix, like I said, mirror, right, is the same thing. So X equals to A inverse matrix B lah. So eventually, in the end, the most important is this lah. That means your XY sini, XY maintain here, and then you have to find the inverse matrix of this one times the 12, 7. Can you understand? How to solve it using matrix method? This first one, first matrix, cari inverse matrix times the B. Sini. Then you get your answer. Can. Okay, yeah? Okay, let's do together. How do we solve this? Okay, xy as a subject. Okay, xy as a subject. This one move here, become inverse. How to do inverse? 1 over AD minus BC. What times what? Minus what times what? Three times 6 minus 4 times 5. Good. 3 times negative 6 here. Okay. 3 times negative 6 minus 4 times 5. Good. And then this one how? You no space already. This one how? Inside the array. What's the first element? Negative 6. Good. Second element? Negative 4. Third element? Negative 5. Fourth element? Fourth element? 3. Okay, good. Changing, remember, yeah, AD minus BC. This one AD switch, negative B, negative C. Jangan confuse. AD switch, negative B, negative C. And then at the back here, okay, I tak cukup tempat here. At the back here is 12, 7. Okay. Then you find out your inverse matrix berapa. Okay, so you look at the textbook. Okay. So 1 over 2 is it? Negative 18 minus, okay, 1 over 2. Wait, so negative 18 minus 20. Is it correct? Oh, that one is another. Okay, no, never mind. So this is negative 18 minus 20, right? So it's negative 38, is it? If I'm not mistaken. Help check calculator. Okay. Okay, and then let's say you solve it already lah. Okay, I simply write an AB over here lah. Okay, you solve it. You will always get the same answer. One on the top, one on the bottom. Your order will always be 2 times 1 because your subject is XY ma. Okay, you write here. Okay, so the X is A, Y is B. Tapi most SPM student, you stop here. If you stop here, you get 0 marks. Most SPM students always make the mistake, they stop here. They solve ready, they stop here. Salah. Cannot write until here. You write until here, you get 0 marks. What you have to do to get the final mark, answer X equal A, Y equal B. Mesti tulis luar macam tu as your final answer. Baru you can get marks. Cannot leave it in matrix form like that. Understand? Okay, most SPM students always make this mistake. Can you understand? Okay, good. Okay, now let's do another example. Okay, this one is I sendiri create. Okay, okay, how do I convert to matrix form? Normally, maybe they give you a question and then you write these two linear equation first, then only you convert to matrix form. So now, how do I convert to matrix form? Okay, yes, there's 3 already. That means like here will be 1, here 2. Okay, what should I write in the first array? In the first matrix, what should I write? Where's the first element? Negative 5, 4. Okay, 3, 2. Okay, Eunice said negative 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, and then XY 2040. Betul ke? Betul ke? Negative 5x 4y. Correct or not? Okay. So make sure X kena di hadapan. So 4x minus 5y. Okay? Then what do you do next? X, Y as a subject. This one move here. 1 over what? Word formula, huh? Okay, others type the determinant is what? 1 over tak ada orang punya. 42 minus negative 5, 3. Good, changing good. And then, okay, here how? The matrix next to it. Remember, once you write the 1 over determinant, you kena ingat to write this, you know. You don't straight away go and write this, later you careless, then do everything wrong already. What should we write here? First element 2. Second element 5. Third element negative 3. Fourth element 4. Good. And then behind here we copy lah 2014. Okay, solve ready. Okay, let's see you get the answer A, B lah. Do not stop here. Answer X equals to A, Y equals to B. Habis. Understand? This is how you solve using matrix method lah. Can you understand? Good. Okay. Good. Okay, then that's all lah. Okay, problem solving, and then okay, that's the end of chapter 2 lah. Habis matrix. Everything sure already, So these 2 chapters, make sure in SPM you have to score here. Okay, because these 2 are very easy in mod maths. Yang susah punya, especially for us stream student, is trigo. Trigo will be hard a bit, dispersion may be hard a bit. That these 2 you have to score here. Okay, I think we can end the class here. So thank you everyone for joining our class. Hope you learned something today. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Okay, I'll end the recording here. Thank you and bye-bye.